welcome to Fetts Legacy, everyone. Today, I'm going to be talking about Tales of the Jedi, a potential Season 2, some of my thoughts on the actual episodes, and what I believe was the actual flaw with this show. But before we get into that, guys, I just want to say thank you all for the support. Please like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Did you enjoy Tales of the Jedi? I know I certainly did, and I would love to hear your feedback on what you thought. So guys, let's get right into it. Starting off with the first episode, Life and Death, we see Ahsoka as a very young child and kind of just unlocking her Force powers at that point. So I'm not going to do a whole breakdown of the episode. I will say this was probably the worst episode in my opinion. Not that any of them were bad. Just out of the 6 short episodes that we got, just had the least actual Jedi storytelling, I guess. You know, Ahsoka is still just a child, and it's mostly about the village. It was cool, it was good to see, and I liked it. It just, out of the 6, it was definitely the worst, at least in my opinion. Moving on to Justice, we see a younger Qui-Gon, who is the Padawan of Count Dooku at this point. It was a bit weird to see Count Dooku with no beard. This episode was really, really good. I absolutely loved it. I will say the Count Dooku episodes were my favorite. I really do like Ahsoka, and she's great. But the fall to the dark side for Count Dooku was something that I've wanted to see for years now. I'm sure a lot of you have as well. And just seeing him turn, and it kind of gives, some flashbacks to Anakin. It's just it's really cool to see him kind of go into the dark side. So I really did love this episode. Definitely one of my favorites. And right after that, choices with a bit older Count Dooku, and he's with Mace Windu at this point. I don't think Qui-Gon is his Padawan anymore at this point, but this episode was also absolutely phenomenal. I think all the Count Dooku episodes are absolutely top tier and just some of the best Star Wars content that Disney has ever produced. I don't think anyone can dispute that. But it was very nice to see Mace Windu again, and seeing his difference to Count Dooku in the way they think and they go about things was very cool. Obviously, seeing Count Dooku again turn a bit to the dark side when dealing with the Senator and the army, the military forces, it was very cool to see. Moving on, the last Dooku focused episode, the Sith Lord. When Count Dooku is officially turning to the dark side, we see him meeting with Sidious in the Industrial District, and we obviously see Yaddle follow him. Now, not to toot my own horn and brag, but I did call that this is going to be the death of Yaddle. It was pretty sad to see. This episode was definitely my favorite. This episode was so good. I mean, I absolutely loved it all, and it was sad to see Yaddle go, but obviously we knew it had to happen as she's only there in episode 1, and then we never see or hear from her again. And there is no death for her in canon. There was one in Legends, but it's now been rewritten, obviously. And personally, I like this better. I think this is amazing, and it really shows how Count Dooku goes into the dark side. And that's kind of his main task that Sidious gave him to really show his loyalty. It's kind of a similar thing he did with Anakin with the attack on the Jedi Temple. And I thought this was absolutely incredible. Just really good storytelling, and you can tell Dave Filoni put a lot of work into this. Now, practice makes perfect. This was heavily focused on Ahsoka and her training. We got to see Anakin, which was really, really cool. And obviously Rex, and seeing the rest of the clones, it was really awesome. I definitely miss seeing those guys. Because we don't have Clone Wars anymore, but it was really cool seeing how Ahsoka learned to protect herself so well, and how she learned the move specifically that she used in Clone Wars Season 7 to get out of Order 66. I mean, that was just absolutely incredible to see, and this episode was good, but obviously I do think it still falls a bit short compared to the Dooku episodes. This last episode was focused on Ahsoka post Order 66, which was cool to see because you can tell that, she didn't want to get back in the fight, and she was just kind of hiding away, sort of like a Kenobi did, and, she really didn't want to join in the fight, even though Bail Organa asked her to at Padme's funeral, which was also really good to see. And then obviously we get an Inquisitor that shows up after Ahsoka was betrayed, and they have a very short anticlimactic, which is why for me, to be honest, the show ended on a bit of a bittersweet note. There was a few things in this season that I took issue with. First of all, like I said, the last episode was a bit anticlimactic, and I wanted to see a bit more of a fight, a bit more of a duel. You know, we know Ahsoka is incredibly talented, and, you know, the Inquisitors, especially early on, not very, very talented, but I don't know. The Inquisitor looked so cool, and he was really hyped up in the marketing, and he's taken out within like 5 seconds. Probably a parallel to Obi-Wan with Maul and Rebels, but for me, I just felt like we could have got a better fight, and probably could have just been fleshed out a little bit more, had them have a bit of a real duel. I don't know, you know, maybe she splits the lightsabers in two, kind of like Vader, or she somehow finds hers, but I just thought, I don't know, I wish they did a little bit more with that ending. My second point that I didn't love about the show, and I know I've said this about many other Star Wars projects, I'm sure if you guys go watch some of my other videos, especially on Kenobi, even Book of Boba Fett, that this was just too short. And I know they're called shorts, and this is what they were going for. They wanted to tell a small, contained story in a short amount of time, and I think they really got a lot of good content in the amount of time, but 6 episodes at around 12 minutes apiece, I feel like they did get a lot of really good content, especially for, you know, like 12-minute episodes. I feel like they fit a lot of good stuff in there, but the fact that it's only 6 episodes also affects how much content we're getting. And so to have 6 episodes of something and then every episode be around 12, 13 minutes, for me is just not enough, especially when you're looking at things like Dooku's fall to the dark side. Now, this is something people have wanted to see for so long, and it was really good what we got, but they seriously could have turned that into its own season of something. They could have had like a whole Bad Batch type show, Clone Wars type show about Dooku's fall and kind of how he becomes disillusioned with the Jedi, and then in the end he turns. I just feel like, nothing against Bad Batch, I'm gonna say something really quick, but I really did like Bad Batch, but the fact that Bad Batch is a full seasoned show with multiple seasons coming on the way and actual like full length episodes, but something like Tales of the Jedi is a shorts thing, I just think like the priorities are a bit off here. And, you know, Bad Batch, like I said, I like the show. I'm excited for season 2, but it'll never compare to what we literally just got. And that's about maybe an hour. I haven't checked the exact watch time, but it's probably a little bit over an hour. And, you know, if you gave it like a full season and really gave it some passion and love, not saying that there wasn't any, I know Dave Filoni headed the project, I just feel like this show could have gone on further and had some really great content and just given us more. I think that's one of my biggest complaints, is that there isn't more. I loved it so much that
I want more.
I hope we get a second season, and I think that the success of this will determine if there is a second season. And I feel like most Star Wars fans are loving this right now and probably checking it out, especially because it's so easy to watch and it's just a short series. I just feel like, give us a season 2. They don't even have to focus on the same characters, but you can go back and focus on Dooku again and Ahsoka. But who knows, you know, maybe we could get young Kanan, who we did see in one of the episodes. Maybe Mace Windu. Who knows? There's so much content there, and again, like, it just comes back to there's so much there to do that it is a bit disappointing with the lack of content, considering how good it was. I really did love it. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. I hope we get a season 2. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching, and see you guys next time.